So I'm getting ready to settle into episode 49 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. As I said at the end of the last episode, I love how they're just drawing out the tension on the eve of the promised day. There was like an end credit scene in the last episode. I didn't get to react to it, but I did go back and watch it. Boils down to the fact that Olivier Armstrong is in a meeting along with the other leadership in Central with Father, and Sloth, the homunculus, is there as well, which is interesting. And Olivier Armstrong says if she were Mustang, what she would do right now is kidnap Mrs. Bradley. Of course, Father doesn't see the point in doing that because they don't care about Mrs. Bradley. But then, of course, we do see Mustang and Hawkeye taking Mrs. Bradley into their protective custody, we'll call it. So I don't know what they're playing at there. I don't quite understand why Armstrong is giving her thoughts to Father, if this is all part of some long game. You know, sometimes the show gets a little bit beyond me, but then I catch up to it in due time. So I'm going to go ahead and watch episode 49 and see if there's any catching up that can be done in this episode. Also, during the OP, I do like to remind people that I have a Patreon now, and I know a lot of you are already members of the Patreon, but if you're not, there should be a link down in the video description. You can just go check it out. It doesn't cost anything just to go look and see what's going on there. I have longer versions of the reactions, which I don't have to chop into little segments as far as the episode, because it's on Patreon behind a paywall. I can include more of the images from the episode, which I think changes the experience. So if you'd like to check it out, please go do that. Honestly, it's Patreon that's really carrying the channel right now, because summertime, I think not as many people are watching YouTube in general, and I'm covering some older stuff that some people are really into, but it doesn't have the mass appeal. So if you just want to help me keep things going, that's one way you can do it, is checking out the Patreon. And starting off with a little bit of a recap, I'm not going to complain if I get to see the elbow blade in action again, that automel elbow blade. That's always fun. But sometimes I'm ready to really get into the show, and the recaps or just feel like a barrier or an obstacle that's in the way. But, you know, I understand why they're there. And sometimes they do help me out when I have longer breaks in between episodes. And also, like, if I hadn't went back and watched that end credit scene, they do give us the explanation here of Mustang coming and taking Mrs. Bradley. So I do like it that these recaps will cover what we might have missed. Episode 49, Filial Affection. And filial, I believe, means brotherly. Please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might be what it means. Or it might mean love. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think it means love. I know Philadelphia, city of brotherly love, but I think the Phila might be the love and the Delphi might be the brotherly. Anyway, I'm talking over resuming the fight between Pride and Edward here. So let me just pause a minute and take this in. Oh, wow. It's like a prison. He's built like a prison of shadows there, like bars. So sinister seeing this creepy kid. It's like watching The Omen. And it's like this creepy kid, which I'm always a sucker for creepy kid characters. Even though we know he's not really a kid, he's a homunculus. But we get to see this creepy kid battling Edward, who himself is not, you know, an old fogey by any means. He's a young guy as well. Kind of cool. And of course, this new hybrid Ling in on the action. Going back and forth between Greed and Ling. And we got my favorite ninja with the automel arm up there. Where's my favorite ninja they kept calling an old man who I had to defend? Where's Fu? Lan Fan and Fu. Oh, wow. Nice catch with your knee bend. Is her arm hurt? Like her good arm is hurt. The automel arm's doing fine. Wow, those things just chop. Like, it's amazing how quick he took down that tree. He could get a good job in tree removal here where I live, because trees cause a lot of problems with the infrastructure, the electric lines and stuff. I mean, I love our urban canopy, but they need to be trimmed and brought down sometimes. My neighbor was taking a tree down yesterday. Oh my goodness, it took all day long. And it was so noisy, I couldn't do any recording or anything that required any kind of quiet background. But it's down today. But just think, if they got Salim Bradley to come take it down, it would have been taken down in no time, like in a couple minutes and hardly any noise. Yeah, it seems like Pride is the most wicked of the 7 deadly sin homunculi. Ooh, what is this? Wake up. Oh, Father! I mean, Hohenheim. My goodness. Hohenheim has managed to, like, cleanse Alphonse and bring him back from whatever fugue state he was in. Oh, I love this. Panama kind of sounds like Panama with a K. Imagine if Van Halen had made that song instead of Panama. Panama. Yeah, he's telling him everything about Pride, but I think they figured it out. He's got Gorius. It's like Gorilla and Darius. Oh, yeah. Of course you don't like somebody interfering with your soul. It not only feels icky, it sounds icky. Oh, wow. It's because of the shared genetic information that they can interfere with Alphonse's. Oh, back to the old man Fu stuff. Didn't you hear me say Fu is good enough? Oh, and he's got to take care of Lion-O. Yeah, I'll never get sick of that stupid Thundercats joke whenever this lion chimera is on screen. That's what makes a dad joke, right? You drive it into the ground. Otherwise, it'd just be a joke. Maybe a bad joke. But the difference between a bad joke and a dad joke is a dad sticks to his guns. Oh, man. And here, Alphonse blaming himself for the situation. Typical Elric brother self-loathing. And he's all out of those flashbang grenades. Oh, man. The poor people in that underprivileged village are stuck in the middle. Oh, man. He's talking to his dad about his exceptional alchemy skills. And I like how he's being falsely humble, I think. Oh, I'm not half bad. Okay, Edward, what are you going to do here? What are you going to do? Oh, we still got Lan Fan. Oh, but you can't hide. It's like Pride has a million eyes. You just can't hide from Pride. And I like it, that Pride is the deadly sin they chose to make the most vicious and most powerful. And you think back to the old slogan? Idiom. Idiom's a better term. Pride cometh before the fall. So it's like late summer is when Pride hits, right? Before the fall. See? Dad joke. Oh, wow. Being so polite about... Oh, he did eat gluttony, so we know that Pride can consume other deadly sin homunculi. So he's going to try to consume greed. Greed and gluttony would be a bad combination in one person, though. Oh, my goodness. They're sort of the same trait, just towards different things. Gluttony is like greed towards food. Greed is like gluttony for objects and stuff. And I like it here. Hohenheim just casually, hands in the pockets, just strolling up saying, hey, I know you. You know me. I'm not stressed in this moment. Oh, and the shadow eyes, the tentacles of shade. Talk about throwing shade. Why did it take me so long to make that corny joke? I should have been making that right from the beginning with Pride. He's throwing shade. Anyway, the shade, the shadows have retracted away from Lan Fan. So that means we got the old elbow blade. Oh, and here comes Alphonse! Trying to make the most of the distraction because he's miffed. He's angry about what Pride did to him. He feels that sense of violation, wants to get the revenge, but he's just not prepared to take on Pride, even with a sneak attack. Pride's too powerful for him. But is this yet another distraction? Whoa, Father's holding back and saying, let's let Al do this. Al and Father have a plan. So I think there's some kind of a trap in there for when he tries to take over the Blood Seal again. Right? I mean, that's the only reason that we find ourselves in this situation. Of course, I still don't know if affection exists inside Hohenheim, or if he's like a machine incapable of what humans would consider affection. I think we've shown him show concern and appreciation, but I don't know if we've really seen true affection. Of course, the way he thought about his wife did seem affectionate. Oh, so Al was playing possum a little bit. Now he's going to trap him in this dome of alchemy. Oh, he's trying to get that shade out there towards towards Hohenheim. When am I ever going to get this straight? So now he's got Selim trapped in what I'll call the Alchemy Thunderdome with Alphonse. So if they play Thunderdome rules, that means 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Unless you're Master Blaster, where you're 2 men that count as 1. That's a Thunderdome reference. Mad Max. Beyond Thunderdome, I guess. All right. So let me see what's going on inside this earthly onion of Thunderdomeness there. He's giving Al a chance to get his revenge. Yeah, so there's still something a little off here with Hohenheim. I guess being an immortal makes you off a little bit. Just because Al wanted you to do it doesn't mean you had to. So they're locked in there where he can't use his shadow power because there's no ambient lighting, even though they have to put some artificial lighting in there so we can see what's going on. You have to imagine it being pitch black. So now let's see what Al's plan is. It looks like it's a non-violent confrontation. He's going to live with lack of oxygen. Oh, wow. So it's just simply like a meditation contest almost, because we know that Alphonse doesn't need oxygen and food and to use the bathroom and stuff. So he keeps Pride trapped in there with him so that whatever plan they're going to hatch for the Promised Day, Pride is off the board. That's like sacrificing your bishop. You know, it's a big sacrifice in chess. You sacrifice your bishop in order to help the rest of your pieces get in position to put your opposing player in check, if not checkmate. I think you sacrifice your bishop. You have to have a pretty strong play for checkmate. And also, this is a good time to confess, I've never really played chess. So I'm not sure why I'm making chess analogies like I'm the expert. I tend to talk out of my backside sometimes. I'll admit that. Wow, now a lot of emotion here, of course, between Edward and Al. And we know that there's that strong brotherly bond. This is the filial love, the filial affection between these two brothers. But it's strange how Hohenheim, who's their father, can be so detached. Like detached from humanity, like Dr. Manhattan or something. I guess he does have some things in common with Dr. Manhattan. If you're a Watchmen fan, should I make a video about how Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is like Watchmen? You know, the one I made about Attack on Titan and its similarities with Watchmen was not well received among all Attack on Titan fans. It got some critical response, but I had fun with it. And here, greed, wanting to be greedy. You know, there's still the greed inside the Ling, wants to be the king of the whole thing. Ling, king of the whole thing, from Jing. Ling from Jing, king of the whole thing. I can't get enough rhymes this times. Anybody want a peanut? Some people will get that reference. So here we've got our secret rebel rousers and their secret Skid Row hovels and the Kanama slums. That's where they want to go to meet up with the rest of their folk. We know that's where Hohenheim is. Scar back on the scene. Went to our local comic book convention and they had the voice actor for Scar there, like the English dub voice actor for Scar. But I know a lot of people really like the dub on this show, so that you get a kick out of knowing he was there. Also, Ervin Smith's voice actor was there. They're getting more anime and manga stuff at our local comic convention every year. I like it. Of course, I'm also a big comic fan, so I've always went. Yeah, Scar doesn't even know about what Grumman did. Yeah, the Ishvalan's taking the blame for the terrorist, the quote, terrorist act of taking down their Führer, King Bradley. Oh yeah, and here they're trying to do exactly the opposite. Terrorism is not what they wish to bend to, and you have to think now, in retrospect, I didn't think it at the time, but General Grumman had to know that this would probably have blowback, and the Ishvalans would be blamed for terrorist activities. Look at the Ishvalans slaughtered here in the streets, it looks like. So I think maybe Grumman is not the ally I just assumed he would be, without question. This is Kimberly that went around killing the Ishvalans, isn't it? I kind of forgot about Kimberly, but he's still on the board. He's still on the field of play. Getting heavy here. Still excellently drawn out this tension. Like I was thinking 3 episodes ago, we were jumping to the Promised Day and it was going to last like 20 episodes. But yeah, they're being smart with their pacing at this point. This is really, really well done compared to some lesser shows I've watched. Particularly the pacing. I don't like to insult well-made programs, but the pacing of the final 2 to 3 seasons of Game of Thrones was not so good. This pacing seems perfect at the moment for me. Others may want to just get on with it. You know, to each his own. To each his or her own, or their own. I don't interfere with that. I like how Al is laying out, if we had abandoned the land, it would have undercut your plan, yet they don't want to give up on their land, so even though they know they're playing into his plan and into his hands, they still are doing it because of their principles, and pride is like, yeah, because humans are so dumb, stupid, simplistic, selfish. Oh wow, talking about how dumb his own mother was for saving Selim Bradley. Wow. So maybe this filial affection is going to show us some insight into this homunculus pride feeling affection and not knowing what it is because he's not prepared to experience affection, right? Oh, so even though Mrs. Bradley means nothing to father and nothing to the Fuhrer, she may actually mean something to Selim Bradley, which is not something I was expecting. Yeah, he is experiencing affection. He just doesn't know to call it that. And he's looking into affection as something stupid because it causes stupid motivations. You're chosen to be sacrifices, and you don't want to be a sacrifice. But when you're not chosen to be a sacrifice, you will sacrifice yourself for someone you care about. I like Selim trying to deal with this puzzle of human behavior from an outsider's perspective. And defending his own plan, with Alphonse saying it had flaws. He's saying no, it didn't. And here we got Maze Hughes. Anytime we visit his grave, it's a little, get you in the old feelers, right? Wow, moment filled with unspoken emotion there. With Hawkeye and Mustang over Hughes' grave. They don't know what to make of the Onion Mountain, the Thunderdome, which turned out not to be the Thunderdome I thought it would. It's more the safe space dome. So now we've got, what, 4 Chimera who've left Kimberly's service? I do like it. All the Chimera that could be working together, they know their own nature enough to distrust the other Chimera. I like it. Poor Dr. Marco and his melted Freddy Krueger face. Whoa! I love it! Feel like it's been forever since Edwards lost his marbles, and he just lost his marbles on the Chimera when he almost got his head taken off by a thrown log. I guess that's Lion-O in his human form. They're all bandaged up because he had a pretty rough fight. Yeah, they're all so happy to be out of the bondage of Kimberly here. And Hohenheim has confidence in them. But do they have confidence in each other? Yeah, I don't know if it's good to stay up all night before a big battle. I think you'd need a little rest. But it looks like they're staying up, you know, till the sun comes up. It's like the party don't stop. Yeah, I like this. I guess a Old Man Fu, as bad as I hate to call him that, is going to go do a little reconnaissance because they don't know who he is. So they've reunited with each other. They've reunited with Scar and whatever troops he's responsible for. They go to check on Mustang's movements. Ah, there's the cloak. And then we'll soon be at the promised day with the onion. The onion containing Alphonse and Selim having a little bit of a therapy session. Alphonse is really giving it his all. Alphonse quite level-headed in this high-stress situation. So, oh, I like this music here. Kicking in like the motivational music as Edward throws on his overcoat and he's ready to win one for the Gipper. With, of course, Al being the Gipper in this scenario. Trapped inside the Onion Dome. And the sun is coming up. You know what that means? It is the promised day. Oh, and they ended with me so charged up for the next episode. Episode 50 is going to be monumental, right? Because we're going to be at the promised day. Who knows how long the promised day will take in terms of episodes. But, oh, man, with him throwing that jacket on, looking at the sun coming up, stating his purpose, and Edward, of course, being a very capable young man. I can't wait to see how this plays out. No one has ever been more dedicated to a singular goal than Edward, perhaps. And I just can't wait to see this go down with all these moving parts in motion. Are we going to get some late betrayal by General Grauman? Are we going to think we're victorious and then there's this other kink thrown into the plan? I don't know, but we're going to find out. I'm loving it. This show is so much fun. I can't believe it took me so many years to come to it, but I'm absolutely enjoying it. I can feel we're going down the home stretch now, and it's going to be picking up speed. So I just want to say, looks like we've got another end scene. I'm going to start sticking around for these. And they're showing, like, some little kids waking up a brother. So what do we got going on here? I'm feeling disoriented. An eclipse? I didn't know there would be an eclipse. No one told me to prepare for an eclipse. Oh, don't stare directly at the sun, little boy. No, I learned that. Yeah. As soon as I say it, it gets added in. Oh, at least the kid knows not to stare at the sun. Instead, he's looking out his window at smoke rising from the city. Has the battle already begun? Oh, man, that looks like an explosion. So this is just some random city dweller giving us perspective. I like this. The common man. Oh, and it's the fire alchemist, the flame alchemist doing this. Oh, man, snap those fingers and incinerate stuff. Yeah, telling him don't worry about the wife. Or about Mrs. Bradley. Oh, the promised day has begun. I didn't have to wait for the next episode to see some action. Man, I love it when Mustang burns things. I want him to kill another homunculus. I know it's sadistic, perhaps, but my thirst for inhuman blood is high, and I love it when he killed Lust. I want to see him take out another one. I want to ultimately see him be the one to take down maybe Bradley if he shows back up. Of course, you know, Edward and Al have to take down Father, I feel like. Oh, they want Mustang alive for some reason. Given the order to kill Mrs. Bradley, and the trigger is pulled, and we don't get to see what happened. Man. Well, I guess we'll have to wait till the next episode and finally see what's going down. I'm glad I stuck around for that stinger at the end. I'm proud of you for watching anime, and I'll talk to you again soon.
I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who supports the channel on Patreon. It really means a lot to me. If you might be interested in Patreon perks like early access to videos, uncut reaction videos, ad-free videos, and the opportunity to vote on which anime will be covered in the future, then click on the link in the video description. Thank you.